simple query if I can raise in Google, any kind of search engine, right? That information is also very private
Correct.
for that particular customer. So regulations comes from that point.
Right.
There someone is asking for help. Suppose I am sharing my personal pain in the internet, right?
Right.
That information should not go out even.
Correct.
So from that point, even post discharge, post medications from any organizations, when and this patient is came out from that particular episode, even those data should not be shared.
Correct.
So it was very much needed in healthcare industry
Right.
particularly, and finance and procurement. These are the ancillary, processes, ancillary department for particular healthcare industry.
Correct.
So that can be manageable.
I, as a consumer, I, as a patient, would directly ask a chatbot, hey, these are my symptoms,
Yeah.
and what is it do you think I'm going through? Or, we can just ask for information and it is available right there. But so are the threats. What is your take on it?
So there are two portion of these questions. One is like, how we can build the culture first by introducing this kind of compliance and this kind of technology in any organizations. Culture always built when that if you are applying any technology have their own processes, own standard processes.
Correct.
First employee has to adhere their processes.
Right.
Once they will adhering these processes, it will become the habit of them basically.
Right.
Once it is habit, then it will become a culture of them.
Hi, you're watching The Mainstream. I'm Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and this is an exclusive conversation brought to you by The Mainstream in collaboration with SailPoint. We are going to be deep diving on healthcare security in digital age, protecting patients with technology. To navigate this conversation and to lead this conversation, I'm joined by an exceptional leader, Mr. Shuvankar Pramanick. So thank you so much for joining me today, and it is my absolute pleasure to host this conversation with you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Simran. Thank you, Mainstream, having me here.
Absolutely. I'll be taking a moment to introduce Mr. Pramanik. Well, to begin with, he is the Senior Director for IT and a Deputy Chief Information Officer at Manipal Health Enterprises, Manipal Hospitals, bringing over 25 years of experience across technology and various healthcare domains. He has a deep expertise in AI, machine learning, RPA, cloud, and healthcare information systems. He has also led various transformative initiatives in EMR, telemedicine, ICU, NICU, and clinical data analytics. With a strong track record in digital health policy and interoperability, Mr. Pramanik has actively contributed to national frameworks like NDHM, MDDS, and interoperability blueprints. All right, without any further ado, let's begin and let's dive right into the heart of this conversation. Well, Shivankar, we talk about rapid digitalization. I want to understand from you what has been your approach when we talk about security and risk management today?
It's a major shift actually, Simran. I am in the industry last almost 20 years. I am working with healthcare domain. Okay, and digitalization started a long time before, and slowly first it was started for internal process digitalizations, and then now it came for the customer. Better we can say it's for the patients and as well as the internal users like consultants like your medical staff and paramedical staffs, all those part. So one is we can think about the internal digitalizations and the adoptions, and how the process, the workflow between our consultant, our nurse with the patients,
Correct.
that part, that all the touch points, now we are having a digital way of interactions.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, there are a lot of regulations, a lot of policies that also come into the picture. And I have a question for you. We talk about compliance today. We are all aware about compliances like DPDP Act and the HIPAA as well. When it comes to your industry, the healthcare industry, what has been some of the biggest challenges from a leader's lens?
So DPDP recently came. It started the blueprint. Started last 2 years back.
Right.
So recently it became an act in India. But honestly speaking, for DPDP, it was very much required in India,
Right.
because this healthcare data was being shared with non-compliance actor in the market also, and
Correct.
outside India also. It was very much required for the private organizations particularly. And still we are in the process to digitalize all the manual processes in healthcare.
Correct.
After post digitalizations, it will be more stringent for DPTP Act.
Right.
And HIPAA compliance, yes, any kind of compliance nowadays, it's always better for any organizations. It is
Right.
not applicable to healthcare organizations. It is applicable to any sector, particularly in compliance, and adhere those compliance,
Right.
right? So balancing those compliance as well as without affecting healthcare delivery
Right.
to the patients, that is the biggest challenge for any IT who is working for healthcare.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
For any healthcare, I mean, certain domains like finance and healthcare where data becomes very sensitive, form of subject. Do you think these compliances would rather be a hindrance to innovation, or it works both the ways?
No, no, it will never be hindrance. Even in fact, when the patients, yeah, the for any organizations, first, someone is a customer, not the patients.
Right.
Any customer is asking for help, their
Right.
medical help. The patients, he became a patient when he entered into that particular organization, say a particular process.
Correct.
Maybe it can be OPD, it can be IPD, it can be admission to discharge cycles. Any, he became the patients for that organization.
Correct.
Before patients, even someone is asking, someone is looking. Suppose if I take the examples like who is the best cardiologist in Bangalore, right?
Right.
Simple query, if I can raise in Google, any kind of search engine, right? That information is also very private
Correct.
for that particular customer. So regulations comes from that point.
Right.
There someone is asking for help. Suppose I am sharing my personal pain in the internet, right?
Right.
That information should not go out even.
Correct.
So from that point, even post discharge, post medications from any organizations, when and this patient is came out from that particular episode, even those data should not be shared.
Correct.
So it was very much needed in healthcare industry
Right.
particularly. And finance and procurement, these are the ancillary processes, ancillary department for particular healthcare industry.
Correct.
So that can be manageable. That is not directly in fact affecting to the patients also.
Correct.
That is any organizational internal process.
Right.
That is already digitalized much before. That
Correct.
regulation came much before.
Correct. So, coming back to what we started, how much data is too much data, and do you think the onus also lies on consumers itself, the patients itself, to kind of restrain from putting out certain information so that their data is protected?
Absolutely. The knowledge should be given to the consumer,
Correct.
right? If they are not knowledgeable about their data, what can be done with their data,
Correct.
if they are not aware about those things, it is very difficult to handle
Right.
whole things, because peoples are there who can leverage this opportunities
Correct.
basically. So that knowledge always to be given to the consumers. It is organization liability and responsibility also to give this pass this knowledge to the consumer.
Absolutely. And speaking of knowledge, I want to take some cue from there. We are talking about employee culture, we are talking about employee awareness and culture. What has been some of the challenges or top priorities for cybersecurity with the rising AI, IoT, and connected devices? I mean, today we have come to a point wherein I, as a consumer, I, as a patient, would directly ask a chatbot, hey, these are my symptoms,
Yeah.
and what is it do you think I'm going through? Or we can just ask for information and it is available right there. But so are the threats. What is your take on it?
So there are two portion of these questions. One is like how we can build the culture first by introducing this kind of compliance and this kind of technology in any organizations. Culture always built when that if you are applying any technology have their own processes, own standard processes.
Correct.
First employee has to adhere their processes.
Right.
Once they will adhering these processes, it will become the habit of them basically.
Right.
Once it is habit, then it will become a culture of them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this entire, step by step, any organization has to focus on how to build a culture in the organization. And on your second part, like when you are putting any information on the chat GPT or any platform, obviously the technology sides, it is totally encrypted. And on the chat GPT, it is very generalized question. They are not taking any your personal informations, maybe
Correct.
a query,
Correct.
but this query is not related with your any personal informations.
Right.
Maybe your phone number is linked, I don't know how it is being architect. Maybe your phone number, your email ID is already linked to
Right.
where from when you are signing on that particular platform, that details is also there,
Right.
right? That link maybe they have encrypted. After that, this kind of platform is there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Shivankar, recently I heard about, there was an ongoing issue about a chat GPT being accused of a lot of things. One of them was how it was kind of advising a lot of teenagers as a counselor, as a therapist, and it was giving some dangerous
Absolutely.
advices.
Yeah.
Do you think in such incidents, or when it comes to such, practices, the platforms must take that kind of accountability, or it should have that level of monitoring as to what is also being sent out?
Absolutely, absolutely. Before any medical prescriptions through a digital platform,
Correct.
yeah, any medical guidance through digital platform, it should have authentications by any registered consultant or registered doctors,
Right.
right? Suppose you are asking any chat GPT and your, maybe they can guide you, they can give you all of articles, they can give you all of case studies, but they should not instruct you that you should do these things for your problem, right?
Correct.
Before that, they have to have approval from any consultant, yeah, any doctors, any GP
Right.
kind of layer. They should keep that.
Right.
What my thought process is.
Superb. And lastly, what does a truly resilient security posture look like for any healthcare organization in today's day and age?
Truly resilience posture means all the systems should play equally. This equal harmony, basically. Your customer satisfaction should be there. Your technology should be there.
Right.
Your process should be there.
Right.
Your security should be there. So all these components, in particular domain, should play equal harmony,
Right.
right? Otherwise, it should be a good orchestra. Otherwise, it will be a very odd for any of the objects. Maybe patient will not be happy.
Right.
Maybe your process will some exceptions will have some exception.
Right.
Some other way it will have that problem.
So basically, these are the elements to have on the checklist for every healthcare
Absolutely,
organization today.
absolutely.
Great. I think this has been a very insightful chat, Shuvankar. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective today. Well, but before we wrap up, I also have a couple of rapid fire questions for you. Basically, anything that comes to your mind first.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. The first one: what has been your go to productivity hack whenever a work or a routine gets very intense?
Just came in mind. I generally use a single goal for a single day.
Wow. I think we can take some inspiration.
Yeah. For a day, I have a single goal. I
Right.
don't go for multi goals for a day.
So that's a pretty fantastic advice. If not for cybersecurity or identity security, or if not for tech, what would you be doing?
I am basically a fond of mathematics.
Wow.
If I would not have my technical background, my professor generally prescribed me, yeah, suggested me that I should go for mathematics research field.
Wow.
So if I would not have in this place, then maybe I could have done some research in mathematics and data analytics, all those stuff.
Superb. Well, I would be scared because I was the one who would run away from mathematics. I was that kind of student. Moving on, one tech gadget you cannot live without.
Phone.
Of course. And what's the best advice that you have received, whether it's work or life?
I should be a good listener
Okay.
everywhere, at home, at office, everywhere.
But I think I beg to differ. I think whatever insights that you have shared, and of course, but moving on, favorite way to unplug and recharge after a long day?
Oh, actually, I play sitar, some sort of right
Wow.
instrument. So I used to have a sitar half an hour at the end of the day,
So
just
that's
to
a
relax me.
practice that you
Yeah,
follow.
yeah.
Amazing. I think this has been a lovely conversation,
Thank
Shuvankar.
you.
And once again, I want to take a moment to thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time
Simran.
and your insights.
Thank you, Simran.
Thank you. Thank you so much.